Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be quite an engaging session. And what we're talking about is the logistics and the industrial park and warehousing sector. It's a sunrise sector which has caught the attention of both Indian and foreign investors. And from a place where it was developer-oriented, it has become more a funds-oriented who wants to be a developer. And all of this is what we'll cover in this particular session. So is it so easy? What are the thing on entry barriers, right? Is it tomorrow that I can think about, oh, I want to become a developer, floated, maybe on industrial or on the logistics part of it? What's the, and do the local developers have a advantage in context of the international ones? So you want to kind of throw in some light on the entry barriers part of it. And is it a sunrise and the golden sector, so everybody should be pitching in and coming in? So what are the pitfalls that should be looked at?
See, to answer the question, I would immediately draw parallel to, let's rewind time back to about maybe 10, 20 years ago. And I think Anshumanji gave some fantastic points on very ground level experience and asked the right questions. You draw parallel to the office market in India or the residential market in India. Let's not go to China, Japan, etc. When we started Embassy Golf Links, we were renting buildings at about 65 rupees a square foot. And that was a park level concept. Now at that point, people didn't understand what is the point of a park, what are the benefits of a park. And the building opposite outside the park was renting at probably 45 rupees a square foot. Today in the same park, we are renting at 150 rupees a square foot, where the building opposite, grade A, AAA, grade A plus building is not crossed 55 rupees a square foot. So there's still that 100 rupee parity which we created just by adding substantial value, right? Now, I don't think warehousing will follow the same curve, but it will follow a very similar curve. Now, why would rentals move up, right? Because today customers are signing non-compliant spaces not due to choice, but due to lack of choice. I don't think any customer in this room or outside this room wants to sign a non-compliant space, right? But because there is no supply of compliant, good quality, grade A scale, like what Anshumanji was saying, where the floor, used to sink in. Now imagine in a warehousing operation, if the floor sinks in, what are you going to do with that warehouse? It's useless. So the minute you start supplying good quality, grade A spaces in a park environment, which has the park security and then your warehouse security, your pilferage becomes zero. You have good quality floor, you have watertight, airtight buildings, and you add that to the overall cost of your logistics, and you add the cost of a peace of mind on compliance. You can afford to pay a premium on the rental because that kind of negates itself. Sometimes it even overshoots the benefits because some of these benefits are not easy to calculate. So having looked at that, I think we have not even scratched the surface of warehousing supply in India in terms of grade A. I think if you look back 20 years from now, we laugh at ourselves saying that, what were we talking about, 10 million, 20 million square feet? It's going to be much, much more than that. I mean, just look at the office sector in India. The other question is about timing, right? Today, most of our customers, have an issue with deliverables. And why is that issue with deliverables? Because a lot of our customers are either e-commerce or 3PL or FMCG customers. Now, they don't know when their customer is going to give them business, right? So by the time they decide to take a warehouse on lease, they need the warehouse yesterday. Now, it's not possible to deliver a warehouse yesterday. So I think value can also be added on how you strategically plan your park, keep your foundations ready, all that, which people know, and keep ready space available or almost ready space available, so that when a customer like Anshuman decides that I need to move into a box within a few months, he can then show his customer we have boxes ready. So there's a lot of, of course, real estate is all about location, location, location. But in warehousing, I think it's more about the overall offering, the reputation of the developer, the reputation of your brand, that how transparently you deal with your customers, how well you are executing your projects on time, what timelines you're promising in the market, what's the spec that you're offering, what's the expandability of your boxes. So for example, if you build today I get a commitment from X customer at 300,000 square feet, but he wants the expansion for another 300,000 square feet possible, which is why you need larger lands. Back to what Alok said, you can't build a park in 25 to 50 acres. You need to go upward of 100 acres to build a substantial park so you can give your customer expansion options. So I think there's a lot more. Just to summarize my views on and answering your question, is that it is definitely a sunrise sector. What are the entry barriers? Capital, capital, capital. Because this sector is all about large-scale capital. And beyond a point, private companies without institutional capital, long-term institutional capital, cannot sustain scale and can get easily eaten up by the scale guys, right? So just like office, just like organized residential, institutional FDI capital is the key for growth. I think a lot of us on the panel, in fact, probably all of us, most of us on the panel have good institutional capital backing us. But that doesn't mean that, we go and waste money. You still have to buy land properly. You still have to, get the land converted. You still have a holding cost of capital. So it is a very challenging business. So the entry barriers are, if you feel that मेरे को वेयर हाउस में चढ़ा देगा अमेज़ॉन को 20 रुपया 25 रुपये भाड़े में और मेरे को 12% रिटर्न मिल जाएगा और वेयर हाउस तो कोई भी बना के दे देगा, then you're wrong. It is a fairly complicated business. It is proper infra borderlining real estate. It's a mix of the two. So, there are a lot of even after you have the capital, there are a lot of funds in the market who have announced 100, 400 million plans. But I haven't seen them invest even 20 million,